scene here as investigators say the apparent target of this deadly gunfire, a rapper from the Atlanta area. They say a pretty well-known rapper, too, in this area, along with the second person in this black Cadillac Escalade. May have been a relative, may have been a member of his entourage, we don't know, but it's that second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire.
Popping traffic, we in Cali, ran through Beverly Hills with choppers. I'm not hiding, bro, them know we crashing down to see the office. He was a passenger, did jump seats to travel, crime can't get us off.
January 27th, 2022. A mere 7 months following the murder of Lil Durk's blood brother DThang, 24-year-old Anthony Wilson and 23-year-old Preston Powell drove up to the Youth Peace Center of Roseland in the 400 block of West 111th Street, where they were looking for one Stefon Mack, who was allegedly involved in the murder of DThang at Club O the previous year. They'd walk up to Stefon and unload a barrage of shots towards him, wounding a security guard who was on duty and killing Stefon Mack before fleeing the scene. A superseding indictment unsealed by the FBI claims the two shooters were handsomely compensated for the murder of Stefon Mack, but they weren't able to exactly pinpoint the suspect involved in orchestrating the hit. That was until FBI informant FBG Cash revealed to the world that the murderers indicted in the shooting death of Stefon Mack had confessed that Lil Durk recruited them to shoot and kill Stefon Mack and would be financially compensated if they were to do so.
Who the name get brought up and what actually proving facts that you done paid me some money to go kill a You didn't pay me to kill. I'd have killed the wrong fucker for me to turn around and go kill a right fucker though. But you, the police know I work for you. Cause they say Shorty flat out told they like, man, Lil Durk told me do that shit, and he paid me to do it. Right? Showing receipts. Like, this nigga gave me real money to get this man gone. A lot of money, right? Why is this man not in jail, gang?
And 5 months after sitting down with Flat TV and asking him with all the evidence stacked up against Lil Durk, how come he wasn't indicted yet? Subsequently, on October the 25th, the US Marshals would apprehend Lil Durk in Florida as he was attempting to board his private jet and flee the States. He would be charged with murder for hire in the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Xavier Robinson, who's more commonly known as Lul Pab. But what you and the FBI may not know is that this most likely may have been not Lil Durk's first murder he solicited in an act of retaliation. So, allow me to archive various incriminating lyrics, confessions on interviews, and police records with inconclusive evidence that may point to Lil Durk having a hand in at least 5 murders in the last half a decade. I want to show you this video OTF Chuck posted on his IG story 2 months before DThang's fatal shooting at Club O. It's Lil Durk's blood brother DThang taunting and dissing his ops Dump Street at a party he was attending. I'm pretty sure we're all aware of how seriously these gangbangers take disrespectful remarks made on the internet, and sooner rather than later, Dump Street members would confront DThang about the remarks he made on Instagram that night. June the 7th, 2021, DThang would be riding around the city of Chicago and documenting himself while running errands that day. He'd post his brother's collaborative album, Voice of the Heroes with Lil Baby, that dropped Friday. He'd also post a video with a nail tech getting his manicure and pedicure done. And hours later, on the same day, DThang would drive to the 17038 South Halstead Street in Harvey, Illinois, to a crime-ridden gentleman's club called Club O, a club that has been a setting to numerous shootings and considered a dangerous part of Chicago. Nevertheless, being a feared and notorious black disciple in the city, and your brother being the richest rapper controlling the streets of the rack, DThang would go and enjoy his night at Club O, surrounded by exotic dancers and various gang members armed to the teeth. Where he was at a club where he reckoned he was well secured. But as the night went on, a Dump Street gang member named Karagang Denim would walk up to DThang and confront him before pulling out his gun and shooting him in the head, then immediately fleeing the scene. DThang would collapse to the ground and a slew of gunshots would erupt after he fell to the ground. A police officer would be hit in the thigh as people were scrambling to leave Club O. Investigators would release a statement claiming to be investigating if a shooting that transpired hours following DThang's shooting for what happened at Club O or not. But amidst all this chaos, when paramedics arrived at the scene, they would subsequently examine DThang's gunshot wound to the head and essentially pronounce him dead. At the DThang and how much of a danger the club posed, Club O would subsequently be shut down, with various cars still in the parking lot and the crime scene from the night of DThang's death not being cleaned up either, with various TikTok videos surfacing showing the aftermath of the club where Lil Durk's brother lost his life. DThang's father Dante Banks would go on the Shy podcast and let the host know how he had been avoiding processing and grieving the death of his son, and how there would be no form of retaliation that would follow after DThang's death.
It's one of those things I've never faced or accepted yet. I'm still suppressing it. I'm still moving on, keeping myself busy, keep doing the work so I don't have to really sit down and really focus upon my son and the loss that he's no longer here. So when this has happened to me, I got to show them by my own example that we ain't gonna do no revenge, ain't gonna be no retaliation. As of today, as I sit here in this interview, I have yet to really deal. I have yet to mourn my son. I keep myself busy, I keep myself moving, I keep myself where I don't really have to really deal with this right now. I know at one point I'm gonna have to deal with it, at one point it might catch me off guard, but right now, I just can't deal with it right now. Because I fought too many years, 26 years, to get out and be a part of my children's life and have one of them taken from me. The oldest one, my firstborn, it's just very difficult. And like I said, I haven't dealt with it yet. I just keep moving, keep finding something to do,
And with the promise of infamy one would receive from claiming to be the trigger man that took the life of DThang, various Dump Street gang members would get into the studio, all with the intentions to diss the late DThang in an attempt to provoke a rap beef with Lil Durk. Dump Street gang members would post snippets of one of their rappers rapping about how they killed Lil Durk's brother.
Whatever he said, can't get you, then get your kin. Your brother dead.
And one gang member who rapped under the stage name of Natso would drop Gla Gla, a diss to OTF signee Lil Z Osama, where he raps about how he's gonna treat one of his ops as if he was at Club O and take someone's head off and knock their dreads off. A clear diss to DThang and referring to the fatal gunshot wound he suffered to the head at the hands of Karagang Denim, who in fact was being harassed by Lil Durk fans who were asking him why he had shot and killed DThang under his Instagram post. Lil Durk would open up about his state of mind and the pain he was enduring in grieving the death of his brother DThang, and on Kanye West Jonah, he'd referenced how the death of DThang took him by surprise and how his father, Big Durk, was released from jail, came home to find out his oldest son had been gunned down. He'd confess about frequently dropping his location in an attempt to bait DThang's killers to slide on him so he could avenge him, but they chose to hide instead. But retaliation for DThang's passing wouldn't come immediately, as Lil Durk would rap on Smirk Carter about how DThang didn't have his gun on him the night he died, and how his name was embroiled in a racketeering case which may be related to how the Chicago PD and the FBI believed DThang and King Von solicited the murder of gangster disciple rapper FBG Duck, and had O-Block gang members like Moop and C-Murder gun him down in the Gold Coast.
You said that OTF DThang paid $5,000 for FBG Duck's location?
Oh yeah, the guy sent it to his baby mama, Teasy. He sent it to his baby mama, the cash app. He sent it that he killed Duck, that he got him killed, that he sent it all to him, and he stayed out there after that, Vlad. He stayed on the scene. That's why his Duck was on the ground, man. We watching Duck fight for his life. He was in the crowd. Him and the other guy was in the crowd watching Duck fight for his life, man. They deserve to go down.
But then, on July the 11th, 2021, 33-year-old Jamie Hawkins and 19-year-old Jaylen Anderson, both Dump Street members, were at a gas station on the 6100 block of South Ashland Avenue when a dark vehicle pulled up beside them and somebody from inside started unloading a barrage of shots towards the members, hitting them multiple times before fleeing the scene.
Developing tonight, a deadly double shooting at a Chicago gas station. 2 men killed in the middle of the afternoon. CBS 2's Stephen Graves is live at the 7th District Police Station in West Englewood. Stephen, the police station is less than a mile from the shooting.
Dave, that's right. Only about a 10-minute walk, and if that doesn't strike you, what will is the aftermath. What we saw at that shooting scene, at least a dozen bullet holes in one car. Screams from a loved one in anguish as she sees the evidence of this brutal double murder. We counted 14 bullet holes in this car at a West Englewood gas station, some in the frame, most bullets fired in the passenger side window. The 20-year-old man was pronounced dead near the pump. The 33-year-old man shot in the chest died at the University of Chicago Hospital. Gas station workers say the whole shooting is caught on the many surveillance cameras on the property.
But as soon as Jamie Hawkin and Jaylen Anderson, both Gotta Gang members, had died at the gas station in Ashland, Lil Durk would tell the world about his revenge campaign against Dumb Street, rapping on Fuck My Cousin with Lil Zay Osama about how he had avenged his brother by getting 2 men gunned down in the west side of Chicago, which referred to the death of Jaylen Anderson and Jamie Hawkin. He detailed the struggles he had been facing with accepting the passing of his brother and would admit to having a hand in retaliatory efforts against Dumb Street on his January 2022 smash hit Aha, and on his unreleased song titled Survivor, he'd rap about catching guys from Dumb Street and gunning them down.
Brother, dad, you ain't retaliate. That's why I don't really with y'all. Catch a from the dump on the block, what you want to slump all y'all.
Now, it's pretty evident that those responsible for the murder of DThang were gang members from Dumb Street, as Lil Durk rapped on his leaked song, Survivor. But there's a statement Tukaville gang member and rapper FBG Butter made on his Vlad TV interview 8 months ago that even had Vlad himself startled at the amount of information Butter knew in regard to the legal situations that were soon to unfold against Lil Durk. In the beginning of his interview, Butter clearly alleges that there are snitches within Lil Durk's entourage giving up text messages to federal investigators incriminating Lil Durk, and also wonders why Lil Durk hadn't been indicted for murder for hire.
Them is the who came and got down with them boys for real. Them is who gave them boys text messages, group chats, they people. Not we, not my side. My side can't. How the f we gonna get our hands on these type of information?
In terms of law and statutes, if the Chicago PD were to prosecute Lil Durk for paying money to get someone killed, it would fall under the statute of conspiracy to commit murder. And a murder for hire indictment could only be pursued by the FBI, meaning while cooperating against the old block shooters in the case of FBG Duck's murder, federal investigators may have tried to get information against Lil Durk from FBG Butter, which could have been the only reason he kept up bringing murder for hire instead of conspiracy to commit murder when talking on Lil Durk's role in getting various gang members killed.
When Yo Gotti name was allegedly brought up for murder for hire, they went and grabbed Yo Gotti right away. No boy. They went and got Yo Gotti the same day. Yo Gotti mugshot was posted all over the internet. Murder for hire, etc., etc., etc. Lil Durk name, the paperwork dropped with Shorty No for Face World on this. It's six little for Face World or somewhere else, all them telling about this, that, and the third. And the big dog name just keep coming up, but he ain't in jail.
This could very much make sense since the indictment against Lil Durk was handed to the grand jury back in June of 2024, meaning federal investigators had an eye out on Lil Durk before eventually apprehending him in late October of this year. Now, listen to this plot twist. On April the 10th, 2022, 5 O-Block gang members were arrested in connection to the murder of FBG Duck in the Gold Coast, where Muwop, C-Murder, Kenny Mack, DThang, Zalmona, and Los Mona made a drive from Parkway Gardens to Oak Street to shoot and kill FBG Duck on August the 4th, 2020. Arrest footage for 3 of the 5 alleged shooters surfaced on the internet, but arrest footages of C-Murder and Muwop did not surface because according to FBG Butter, there is a third man who was arrested alongside C-Murder and Muwop, who is believed to be cooperating against Lil Durk, and witnesses are known not to be announced to the public for safety reasons.
Everybody arrest video coming out from when they got arrested for this Duck case.
Yeah.
They ain't showing Muwops yet, or C-Murders, have you? Y'all ain't seen Muwops and C-Murders, have y'all? Y'all wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because they got locked up with the fucking informant himself. On Tuga, shorty. They got locked up with the FBI biggest informant, gang. Come on, bro. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar. Come on, bro. Stop playing. Think about it. They called Durk, hey, you get them guys here, we gonna come get you with them.
And I believe said witness could be 24-year-old Anthony Montgomery Wilson. Now, to understand how Anthony Montgomery Wilson fits into this dilemma that involves Lil Durk and his unquenchable thirst for retaliation, allow me to explain the nature of their relationship. AJ, government name Anthony Montgomery Wilson, is a 24-year-old gun-toting gang member from Mike City, and he has strong ties to Tay-Town, as said Lil Durk frequently visits and hands out wads of money to the gang members who do his bidding back in Chicago, and would even shoot the music video for Pissed Me Off, his tribute and outright proclamation to retaliate for the death of his blood brother, DThang. Now, on his 2022 guest appearance on Gucci Mane's Rumors, Lil Durk would allude to how he had told his gang members that he didn't want to settle for anyone they had caught, but in fact wanted whoever he paid for to be killed. Keep in mind that on Vlad TV's interview, FBG Butter had mentioned how there were people who were killed who weren't the initial intended targets, but then how the gang members turned around and killed the right person.
You didn't pay me to kill. I'd have killed the wrong fucker for me to turn around and go kill the right fucker though. But you, the police know I work for you. Cause they say Shorty flat out told they it's like, man, Lil Durk told me to do that shit. And he paid me to do it.
Which essentially brings us to the afternoon of January the 27th, 2022, 6.5 months after the two Dump Street gang members, Jamie Hawkin and Jaylen Anderson, were gunned down on the 6100 block of South Ashland Avenue. Lil Durk would allegedly put a bounty out on Stefon Mack, who directly had a hand in the death of DThang, unlike Jaylen and Jamie, who were only associates of Dump Street and didn't directly have anything to do with DThang's passing, which you would think would satisfy Lil Durk, because on his smash hit pissed me off, he'd urge his gunmen to retaliate in his name if he ever got killed, or if they couldn't get the main guy, they should at least get those affiliated to him. But with the double murder of Jaylen Anderson and Jamie Hawkin, you would think getting those affiliated to Dump Street would be enough, but no. After putting out a direct order to have Stefon Mack killed on January the 27th, 2022, Stefon Mack was exiting a church on the 400 block of West 111th Street when Anthony Wilson and Preston Powell ran up on him and unloaded a barrage of shots towards Stefon Mack, hitting his head and chest. A security guard accompanying Stefon Mack out the church was also struck before the two men fled the scene. This assassination was caught on camera, with pictures of Anthony running up and shooting Stefon surfacing, and a picture of Preston Powell seen fleeing the church, with both men spotted wearing blacked out hoodies and ski masks. And after leaving Stefon to bleed out and die outside a church, I repeat, they left Stefon Mack to bleed out and die outside a church, a place of worship. This only goes to emphasize the lack of remorse these killers in Chicago have for human life. Nevertheless, following the shooting death of Stefon Mack, Lil Durk would be back in Chicago to shoot the music video to his single, Aha, which was released on February the 22nd, 2022. And guess who appeared in the music video? Mike City gun-toting killer Anthony Wilson. He'd also be surrounded by Tay-Town gang members while shooting the music video to Aha, with some Tay-Town gang members claiming Lil Durk even handed out wads of cash to the gang, with there also being rumors that a huge chunk of money handed out that day went to Anthony Wilson for shooting and killing Stefon Mack a month earlier.
Million in cash, bro.
Million cash.
A million in cash, man.
$1 million.
Y'all know who did it. Bought the TTE. $1 million in cash. Only to do that. Only to do that. That look beautiful, you hear me?
And on the same day the music video of Aha was shot, Gilly and Wallow were invited to interview Lil Durk on his promo run for his 2022 album 7220, with Wallow going on an emotional tangent telling Lil Durk how he forgave the man who killed his brother and urging Lil Durk and his gang members to stop seeking retaliation for whoever they may have lost to gun violence in the gang-ridden streets of Chicago.
Some of y'all in this room, y'all might not see next year. Y'all might not see next week. And I know you niggas got no dads out here. And I'm gonna say some shit that, like, this is documented. I forgave my brother's killer. And I'm saying it to say this. Killed my brother. My brother died in my grandma's arms. Nigga shot my brother. He ran to the house. He died in Nanny's arms when she opened the door. So I'm telling you, this some real shit, man. If I ain't let that shit go, I won't be right here today.
And he, like,
straight up, man.
It's so crazy. Yeah, this motherfucker really dropping tears for this shit, like.
But little did Wallow know, on the music video they had just filmed for Lil Durk's song Aha, he'd rap about how hard the death of DThang was affecting him, and confessing that they did in fact retaliate for the murder of DThang.
Cause just like the evidence they had on Shorty and they had on Durk too, that you just paid to get your fucking brother killed. How you not in jail? We ain't talking about this shit. This shit just ain't happening in our face, huh? Who the f you know name get brought up and with actually proven facts that you done paid me some money to go kill him. And I done killed the wrong motherfucker too. You didn't pay me to kill, I done killed the wrong motherfucker for me to turn around and go kill a right motherfucker though, but you, the police know I work for you. Cause they say Shorty flat out told that's like, man, Lil Durk told me to do that shit. And he paid me to do it.
And after having a hand in numerous murders across Chicago in an effort to retaliate for the murder of his blood brother DThang, Lil Durk was still looking for a way to retaliate for his late friend King Von, and that opportunity would soon present itself. After various attempts on Quando Rondo's life, federal investigators allege Lil Durk made it clear to various gang members within his vicinity that he would financially compensate anyone who took part in the murder of Quando Rondo. And on August the 18th, Lil Durk and his entourage would learn from co-conspirator 4, who could be someone who resided in Los Angeles, that Quando Rondo was in the City of Angels and staying in a hotel in downtown LA. And immediately after learning about Quando's whereabouts, OTFDD would recruit Jones, Lindsay, Houston, and co-conspirator 2, while also texting co-conspirator 3 everybody's biographical information like names, dates of birth, conspirator 2, while also texting co-conspirator 3 everybody's biographical information like names, dates of birth, and photo ID to co-conspirator 3, who was responsible for booking flights for defendants to travel from Chicago to San Diego, California, using what federal investigators labeled as OTF Credit Card 1. And by the time Lil Durk texted co-conspirator 3 and informing them not to book any flights under any names linked to him, it may have been already too late. Nevertheless, on the same day of August the 18th, Lil Durk would allegedly board a private jet alongside his fellow co-defendant Kayvon Grant in Miami and fly to Los Angeles so they could help in coordinating the murder of Quando Rondo. And upon arrival, Wilson, Lindsay, Houston, and co-conspirator 2 would rent 2 cars, a white BMW and a white 4-door Infiniti, and purchase 4 black ski masks using cash, and then would drive towards the Los Angeles County to meet Kayvon Grant, who had gotten off the jet with Lil Durk. And after all the co-defendants gathered together, Wilson would use what federal investigators labeled as OTF Credit Card 2 to book hotels for the co-conspirators at the Universal City Hotel. Kayvon would then leave and go acquire firearms and handing them out to Lindsay, Jones, and co-conspirator 2, including a firearm that was modified to operate as a fully automatic machine gun, aka a switch. Then the next day, on August the 19th, all 4 co-defendants would use the BMW and the Infiniti to track and follow Quando Rondo, who was riding in a black Escalade, as traffic cameras in downtown LA show 2 vehicles following Quando's black Escalade to a weed dispensary located on Flower Street in downtown LA. Not getting a chance to kill him on Flower Street, they would follow Quando to a clothing store in West Hollywood located on Melrose Avenue. They'd then leave the clothing store and head to Beverly gas station located on Beverly Boulevard, with Quando Rondo taken to Instagram to post a video of him and his cousin sitting in the back of an Escalade holding 2 bottles of Ace of Spades and seemingly enjoying each other's company. But little did he know, this would be the last moment they would share together, because after pulling up to the gas station, Houston would park their rented Infiniti in an alleyway with co-defendants Grant, Lindsay, and co-conspirator 2 exiting the vehicle, approaching Quando's Escalade and unloading a barrage of shots towards the SUV, hitting Quando's cousin, Stephon Robinson, and killing him, then jumping back into the sedan and fleeing the scene. They'll travel to a burger spot to discuss payment for the murder they had just participated in, and in an attempt to get far away from the crime scene as possible, co-conspirator 3 would then again use OTF Credit Card 1 to book return flights for co-conspirator 2, Wilson, Lindsay, and Houston to travel back to Chicago, leaving Quando Rondo's cousin Stephon Robinson to bleed out at the Beverly Center and unfortunately dying of his injuries.
Scene here as investigators say the apparent target of this deadly gunfire, a rapper from the Atlanta area. They say a pretty well-known rapper too in this area, along with a second person in his black Cadillac Escalade. May have been a relative, may have been a member of his entourage, we don't know, but it's that second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire, dies from the gunfire. Let's get right into it. Mike, you'll give you a look. The gas station here, this is right across the street from the busy Beverly Center on La Cienega. See all that broken glass there? That's where the Escalade is parked. They're getting gas when all of a sudden the windows are blown out by gunfire. They're under attack by bullets flying all over the place. To the left, Mike, you'll give you a look. See all those white evidence markers on the ground? Each one of those is by a shell casing. Give you an idea how many rounds are fired. Police say in that alleyway, the white vehicle pulls up, 3 men get out, and they start firing at will, blasting away, targeting that black SUV, the rapper, and his second person inside.
And upon landing in Illinois and the news announcing the death of Stephon Robinson, defendants Wilson would pay Jones and Lindsay on behalf of co-conspirator 1, who's Lil Durk.
The search is on for 3 people who police say shot at a Savannah rapper, killing a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back.
This brazen murder was played out in broad daylight, and regardless of Quando and his cousin Pub riding around the Beverly Center, a shopping district that costs upwards of $100 million to build, it's clear that the OTF shooters behind the murder of Pub didn't care about the consequences that would potentially follow on the back of murdering a man in such a tourist-populated area, which is eerily similar to the death of FBG Duck in the Gold Coast. And following the murder of Pub, a lot of people would chime in on the incident, with a barrage of O-Block-affiliated BDs taken to Instagram to celebrate the murder of Pub, with one member posting a story that had a sentence, "Ain't no time frame on that get back." And with federal investigators alleging that Lil Durk was willing to provide monetary compensation and music opportunities to those willing to get involved in the murder of Quando Rondo or anyone close to him, Lil Durk's personal friend DJ Band would take to Instagram the signing artists to belt to ass records as long as they were willing to get someone clapped.
Belt to ass records, you know what I'm saying? We signed, man. Anybody could get signed, man. That's all you gotta do is play crazy out here. You get signed, man.
And after being laughed at on Clubhouse by Quando Rondo and Lul Pab 3 months before the incident at the Beverly Center, Lil Vernie the Muscle would take to Instagram to tell Quando Rondo to keep his head high.
Lil Vernie, what's up, man?
What's the word, 6-0?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. How the f you miss a whole I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie, boy, they ain't got no money. I know Dawg said go get the money, but I know they ain't got no money that night. Yeah.
And in September 2022, Savannah Rolling 60s members would be seen attending Lil Pub's funeral, with Quando being seen carrying Pub's casket and Lil Tim popping champagne at Pub's wake. Then, on September the 6th, 2022, Quando Rondo would take the internet by storm and proclaim to be laying down his flag and no longer representing the neighborhood Rolling 60s Crips due to his belief that someone from LA's Rolling 60s branch had lined him up. By now, I think we're all familiar with who Quando believes lined him and his cousin up, Rolling 60 rapper Bricc Baby. He went on Adam's No Jumper podcast to proclaim his disliking of Quando Rondo due to his inability to use his rap money to help the Rolling 60s in Los Angeles.
It's like Quando Rondo.
You're not with him?
Boy, stop. Don't come to the 60s and want to provide now that bro that boy your ass.
Well, that's gotta be weird for you because you with Durk so much.
It ain't weird for me. You know what I'm saying? You're not from Rolling 60s.
Oh, really?
You're not from LA Rolling 60s. You're not from Rolling 60s.
Right.
You gotta come talk to the streets.
And a week or so following Pub's murder, Bricc Baby would take to social media to badmouth Quando Rondo for not pulling up on the Rolling 60s and checking in with them.
If you from out of town and you banging the hood from California, you're an imitation gangbanger if you do not check in. If you do not make sure your hood is funded, you don't make sure your hood got blicks, if you don't make sure your hood got sticks and the kids is eating over there, a couple who put you down with the play family is straight, you're an imitation because a motherfucker don't deal with the same enemies we deal with in LA. You can't leave a hood that you never was in. You claiming our hood, you cannot leave a hood you never was in unless you just get put off. Stop claiming it. If you don't want to deal with street politics, stop gangbanging.
And from here on out, a slew of interviews would follow with Bricc Baby, claiming he was surprised when he heard Quando Rondo, a Rolling 60, had a And from here on out, a slew of interviews would follow with Bricc Baby, claiming he was surprised when he heard Quando Rondo, a Rolling 60, had a hand in the killing of King Von because of the close relationship the Rolling 60s had with the BDs. And in an appearance on Real Life Production, he would be laughing at Quando Rondo for laying his flag down.
Have you ever thought about leaving the set alone? Because recently there was a young rapper who said he's done with that. He said he's done with that. But
hey, said 1, 2, 3.
Man, never in life. Even if I was like, we got retired gangbangers in the hood.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's the way you go about it. You go never drop your flag though.
Then, a month and a half following the shooting in the Beverly Center, Bricc Baby would call upon Lil Durk signee OTFC3 to collaborate with him on his track, Brick Lotto. I heard they claiming 60 him on his track, Brick Lotto. I heard they claiming 60, have them real hoods get at you, and rapping they drop your location, we at your spot, we pull up like peekaboo. And with all these subtle yet incriminating references towards Quando Rondo, on February the 4th, 2023, Bricc Baby would appear on No Jumper and outright proclaim Lil Pab's murder was direct retaliation for the murder of King Von.
Oh yeah,
Stehphon, right?
Nobody.
Yeah.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no. Like
They
who
say
died?
you can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Or who?
Nah, because Lul Pab.
Oh. What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more. That's the new term, like no more slide for Von.
And after not referencing the situation at all, on December the 2nd, 2022, Lil Durk would make a guest appearance on Babyface Ray's Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy and rap up about how he gets into his feelings when he thinks about the brothers he lost and how he'd rather get revenge rather than millions, and ending the song off by saying that he got the Addy, got the location, told his shooters they got the green light, and after turning on the news, he saw someone's son screaming no. And if you still don't think he's taking a dig at Quando Rondo on his 21 Savage assisted song War About Him off his May the 26th album Almost Healed, he'd be urging Quando to go to war since Lil Pab died and screaming no as an ad-lib, clearly mocking Quando's reaction when he saw that Lil Pab had been killed at the Beverly Center.
I'm triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why. We here though.
Sun Times published when the mural for the late Black Disciple drill rapper King Von on a corner store's wall in front of O Block. And as various Black disciples like Lil Durk, Muwab, and Boss Top had taken pictures in front of the mural as a sign of respect to all in them.
Stop playing B-word. No, we do this for you. For sure. O Block for life.
How you coming?
They just came in this bill. I know who we at, man.
You know who that? Who that is right now?
You know who that is right now. Go ahead, folks. Pose.
All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
But while the mural was meant to forever immortalize the legacy of Chicago's most influential drill rapper in the past decade, it may have brought unwanted attention from King Von's most formidable ops.
We into it till you die, real street. At your funeral, I might just slide. Rest in peace. Shoot up everybody that's outside. When we feel this one, I don't lose, you still twisted. He changed something different.
At the door, a clear reference to Lil Durk's brother DThang, who died while at the club, and he'd end the song off by claiming In late May 2022, FBG Cash would find himself parked in front of a woman's house in Chicago, and he would tell Drea
He said, yeah, I forgot I gave him keys. He boom. So I'm like, but I never got back up. I was just like, cause I thought she was so I was trying to push that out the car. Yeah, like boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to push that out cause I thought she got shot. But I was like, when I see she was like, whoa. I'm like, drive.
And after escaping with his life in this particular incident, you would think FBG Cash would refrain from letting his guard down when he's with women in Chicago. But a couple of weeks later, he'd find himself parked in the 16,000 block of West 81st Street at 5:30 a.m. with a woman in the passenger seat. This is a 10-minute drive from where Jaylen Anderson and Jamie Hawkin, the two Dump Street members, had lost their lives as retaliation for DThang slaying. And while in that vehicle, a 4-door black sedan would pull up and two men would exit the car and would unload a barrage of shots to
the woman that was also in the car with him was wounded as well.
Videos from residents in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood would show a lifeless FBG Cash unresponsive and laid down under a tree, surrounded by police officers. And while the police were in a frenzy, trying to gather information on who may have been responsible for Cash's murder, Lux album, he'd go on Instagram Live alongside OTF Booney Mo and would start rapping about leaving someone stretched out under a tree.
You ain't have your gun for them, you better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
But I got my gun for Boone, they call him Chief. But we should have killed him sooner, cause he a thief.
This would later morph into threats to everybody, which dropped in December of that year. And on thought, he'd fleetingly reference Cash's death, rapping about how he died in front of his girl and she couldn't save him.